Welcome everybody to the College Town.
Are we starting?
Yes, why not?
Okay.
Welcome everybody to the College Town podcast. I'm Derek DeBurger. With me, as always, is Sam Roth.
How we doing, guys?
It's summer radio officially, summer pod,
Yay.
if you will.
Yeah.
So we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel, but it's a great show. We had a great time, nonetheless. We talk about Tennessee winning the College World Series, kind of ending the sports calendar.
Yep.
We talk about the draft, what we're looking for. It's going to happen after this airs, so we're not going to actually talk about the results for a while, but,
right.
you know.
Here we are.
We talk about the NCAA planning expansion of the tournament,
Boo.
why it's awful.
Yeah.
Talk about some football news, who has the cheapest beer truly in all of college football.
Louisville's down there, which is nice.
Yes, and then we do a draft of who we think are the best college coaches in college football.
Yep.
It was a fun one. That was not as contentious as the last time we did a coaches draft, but still fun all the same. Like if you like the video, subscribe if you want to develop a parasocial relationship, and we'll see you in the episode. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the College Town Podcast. Rocky Top is on top.
They sure are.
That's what they said in the broadcast.
Absolutely.
First time Tennessee's ever won a College World Series championship.
That's correct.
Yeah, first time. I think the last time that they played in the College World Series championship was 1951.
It's been a minute. Man, oh, man. Well, congratulations to Tennessee.
Yeah, 60 wins, which is an absurd amount of wins. That is
a lot.
Insane. Yeah, they're very good.
That means, first time a one seed's won it since what, the 90s?
99. Yeah, second time overall that a one seed has ever won. The first time since Miami did it in 1999.
Also, their fans won the Jello Shot contest as well.
Yeah.
So there is another trend there that stays alive as well.
It stays alive. Yeah, I mean, I guess speaking of trends that are staying alive, this is now the 5th SEC champion in a row.
Really? I thought it was like 7.
It's 5.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Who was the last team to do it that wasn't SEC?
Oregon State.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so, to me, what's interesting about that is everyone's like, oh, man, the SEC is like miles ahead of everyone. And they are the best conference in baseball.
Right.
But the SEC as a whole, every team in the SEC, I guess excluding Oklahoma and Texas because they haven't joined yet, there's only 15 championships in the SEC as a whole.
Oh, wow. 7
of them are LSU's.
Oh, wow.
So really, it's kind of just like spread around. Yeah, I don't know. South Carolina has a couple as well.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, South Carolina's a good program, but
do you think this will be a common trend now, where SEC is going to run the table now?
Well,
with
this trend
baseball?
This trend has started. It started back in 2008. Since 2008, there's only been one College World Series championship without an SEC team participating. That was 2016, I think.
Okay.
It was. I know it was Coastal Carolina and Arizona.
Okay.
Each other.
Gotcha.
Which Coastal Carolina won. But no, it's like the SEC is the best conference in baseball. They have been for a little bit. But it's not like this historic, like, oh, they're just like leagues above everyone else. This is kind of a recent trend. It's just interesting to me. It's very interesting. So I guess congrats, Tennessee. Congrats to your D-bag head coach. He is. I don't know what to say. I mean, I guess I could have not said that, but
You did. It's out there now.
It was out there. I think I said it last week, too. Moving on from that. Staying on baseball, there's another really quick one, though. Charlie Condone won the Golden Spikes, which is the Best Player in Baseball award.
Interesting. He's a very good player. Not going to just wonder if, like, Jack Caglione was in consideration.
Condone had a better season.
What's his name? The second baseman from Oregon State? Bazanaza?
Bazana.
Yeah. What's his name? First name?
Is it Bazana or Brazana?
I want to say it's like Adam Bazanana.
It's not Bazanana. It's Bazana or Brazana? It's so I don't
Travis Baznana?
Bazana.
Bazana. Yeah, okay. Jeez, need some work on that. Yeah. He was very good this year, too.
He was very good. He is in consideration to be the number 1 pick.
I think it's those three, and then maybe Chase Burns out of Wake Forest if you want to take a pitcher.
I think it's more open than that. I think there's a lot of consideration for who's going to be the first pick. I don't think it's a slam dunk guy.
I think it's between like 4 guys.
I've heard a lot of names tossed around, but Charlie Condone, he led college in home runs, set the single season record I think for home runs in the BB Core era. Also was batting like 400.
Yeah,
he had an incredible year. So, congrats to Charlie Condone of Georgia. He will also be off to the draft. He's a sophomore,
right?
And I thought that he was ineligible, but it turns out he's a redshirt sophomore.
So he's already done his 3 years.
Yep. So he will be off to the draft.
There you go.
All right, moving on to another draft. We've got the NBA draft, which
it's been deemed a very weak draft. We've heard it consistently throughout.
Yes, but so recording this on Tuesday. This show is going to come up on Tuesday, and the draft is on Wednesday. So we're going to miss it. So basically everything we're saying is just like speculation and like what we're looking for.
Well, it's also like a lot of teams, this is when they start to send out smoke screens on like there's reports of like this team is interested in this player. I read something where the number 1 pick could be Donovan Clingan.
I've heard that too. I don't think it's going to be.
I heard it was that and the French guy, Zakar.
Yeah.
Not Alexander Sarr, the other one.
Risa Scher.
Yeah. It's between him and Clingan, and then they're saying it's a lock for Sarr to go number 2.
I've also heard that. But, I mean, the point is, it's going to be another year where the top of the draft is dominated by people who didn't play college basketball.
Yeah, a little bit. There's 2 big names. I mean, like Reed Shepherd's going to be up there, I think.
Yeah, he'll be up there.
Clingan, Stephen Castle will be up there.
Yeah, Stephon Castle, I think he's, fingers crossed, I think he's going to go to the Spurs.
You want him to go to the Spurs?
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
He needs to get better at shooting, but I like him. I think
he's also young. He's got more years to develop.
Yeah, and he's smart. He's a smart player. You have to be smart to play in Hurley's system.
Yeah.
I think Stephon Castle will be a great pick at number 4. But I mean, is there anything specifically that you're looking for? There's a few things that stand out to me. One is probably the biggest story of the draft, which I don't know why it's the biggest story of the draft. I know why, but like logically, I don't know why.
Enlighten me. What is it? I honestly don't know.
Bronny James.
Oh, yeah.
Like, where's he going to go? A lot of people, honestly, myself included, I think it's the most likely situation that he goes in the second round to the Lakers.
That's if he falls all the way there.
I don't think anyone's going to spend a first-round pick on him.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if he goes high second.
I wouldn't be surprised with that either. I think there's a world where people kind of like slowly talk themselves into him. They're like, oh, well, everyone knows like his floor in the draft is second round of the Lakers. Well, what if we go 1 pick ahead? Well, what if someone else wants to go? What if someone else knows we're going to go 1 pick ahead, and so they go 2 picks ahead? And then I think it could be a situation where he ends up going like 38th in the draft.
It just gives off an owner's pick where the owner's like, screw what the team needs. I want money.
Yeah.
That's what it seems. So it really just, how much are you willing to sabotage basketball operations to go get a kid? Because he's an undersized guard. He was able to shoot very well at the combine.
The whole, and it upsets me, like the whole like bashing of Bronny, because he's not ready for the NBA. He's just not. He should have stayed in college for at least 1 more year. Yeah. I do think athletically and like what he has to work with skills wise, he could work himself into an NBA player.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He could be the comp that they have given is like, what game do you model yourself out? It's like a poor man's Keaton Mitchell. of the Kings, which is a 3-and-D guy. He goes out there for defense, basically. That's what the Kings use Mitchell for. That is the comp that Bronny James has gotten.
I heard some names that Bronny James himself threw out, and it was all like very like reasonable players. He was like,
role players.
Yeah, Drew Holiday. I was like, yeah, try to be Drew Holiday.
If you can be Drew Holiday, that's a great career.
So I do feel bad about like, I don't know. It's a tricky situation for Bronny in general. It's not fun.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with him.
Yeah. The other, yes, I mean, there's not much more to say about that. It's just where does he go?
Where does he go? Yeah.
Do teams talk themselves into him?
I think so. I think teams will.
The other one for me, the second most interesting, is Zach Edey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think we've already seen a lot of teams talk themselves into him, at least as far as like mock drafts go. And a lot of these mock drafts, they're insiders, so they do have some inside information. But obviously, like you said, teams give us smoke screens.
Right.
So it's like, does he end up working his way into the lottery? Or is he just like, because I think he'll be a first-round pick. But the question is, does he go in the lottery? Does he go that high?
No, I don't think Edey goes in the lottery.
Yeah, I would love, again, Spurs fan here, go Spurs. I would love to get Edey, like, if he falls to the second round, I'd take a flyer on him. But
that'd be an insane front court of height.
He sure would. He's shorter than Wemby.
I know.
But the thing is, Edey would have to play the
5 because Wemby can handle the 4.
Yeah, and honestly, Wemby is better at the 5. But I digress.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, and then the final one who I am very interested to see is Isaiah Collier out of USC.
It's interesting. Top high school recruit.
I think he's great. I think he's fantastic. He seems to be, in everyone's mock drafts, he seems to be sliding.
You're not the only one that really likes his game either.
He's
online.
Good. He's really good. I mean, I know Kansas State wasn't that good a team last year, but Jerome Tang is a great defensive coach. He just ate them alive. He was so good. And he did deal with injuries last year, so it's not like he wasn't healthy the whole season. So he didn't play the whole year. But, like, I think when he played, he was great. He was inconsistent, but his highs are there.
Right.
I like him. If he can fall to the Spurs. Anyway, I saw one draft before we move on. I just saw one draft having the Knicks pick Ryan Dunn. How do you feel about that?
Ryan Dunn,
Virginia.
No,
I would love Ryan Dunn.
No,
I would love Ryan Dunn on the Spurs.
No, I really want them to go after like a wing of sorts.
When he is a wing, he's a 3.
Yeah, I want like Jacob Walters. That's what I want.
Jacoby Walt. I don't think they have that high a draft pick.
I've seen him slide that far. I kind of want to look at a mock right now because I mean, like, the Knicks need. The rumor is they're going to somehow get OG Anunoby back in free agency and Hartenstein. That's the rumor, and they could be moving away from Mitchell Robinson. So you need a backup big. And you really need someone to help with, if we're all healthy, you really just need like a backup power forward or backup 3. But to go behind Randall and OG. Because you got Dante, Josh Hart, Miles McBride. You really just need to fill out the front court more or less.
So you're a fill out you're a based on need type of drafter?
For this team in the positions that they are. You need... This team is in win now mode, so you fill the needs that you need now. If you have a project, best player available, and then you build around them.
In general, I'm a best player available guy.
I understand the idea of a best player available. I just wonder about like how you construct a team when like Dante, Josh Hart, Brunson are all on like 4-year deals. So right there alone, your backcourt is a little bit solidified in that aspect. If you draft another point guard, it's like, where does he get minutes to develop? That's where I kind of, it's like...
Well, Ryan Dunn's not a point guard.
Right. I'm just saying I don't really know him, so that's why I don't want him. I don't really know Ryan Dunn.
I think he's good.
Let's see. They have Terrence Shannon and Kellen Ware. I would love both of those picks.
Terrence Shannon recently found not guilty.
And then Kelly Ware, how you say the Indiana Bay?
Kelly Ware.
Yeah, I think those would be both great picks if both of them are there. Jacoby Walters is projected in this one to go 13th. So maybe I'm a little bit dreaming there. But they also have Rob Dillingham's projected 18th.
I saw that.
I've seen him sliding a bit
too. He didn't work out for a lot of teams, I think. That's a lot of the reason.
So as far as like the top, it seems like the consensus top 3 or 4 guys in the college are Cody Williams, Donovan Clingan, Stephon Castle, and Reed Shepard. Those are like the top 4.
Cody Williams, not necessarily.
Well, maybe Dalton Connect, maybe.
Yeah, Dalton. The top 3 seem to be Shepard, Castle, Clingan. Yes.
And then after that, it's a question mark.
Yeah. But even then, it's just talk. Draft is tomorrow, so we'll find out.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
All right. Staying on basketball, because this is big news. Frankly, it's annoying news.
This news?
Yeah, the NCAA has put forward 3 plans to deal with what is growing calls and growing groans over tournament expansion. One of the plans is to expand to a 72-team tournament, which would be adding, 4 teams? One of the plans is to expand to a 76-team tournament, which would be adding 8 teams. And then the third plan is to keep the tournament at 68 teams.
Yeah.
It's,
I think this also comes, it's just a coincidence, I think. No, it's not a coincidence, that last year in March, we had a lot of bid stealers. And now there's calls for expansion after this.
No, there's calls before it.
I'm just saying
I think it's a coincidence.
It's just a coincidence, you think?
Yes, I do.
Because, I mean, like, you look at teams like Long Beach State, Duquesne, who else were bid stealers? Princeton didn't make it. Yale made it instead.
Which, that was a 1-bid league anyway. That was
right. I'm just trying to think of who else. Because there was a lot.
Drake, kind of, in a sense.
Yeah. No Indiana State because of that. Yeah.
Yeah. They were a lot, but so Charlie Baker said that with expansion,
New Mexico.
Yeah, New Mexico was one. Charlie Baker said with expansion that 80 teams is the max that they would even consider, which I still think is way too much. And also the soonest expansion would take place is the 2025-26 season, which, if you ask me, that means that's when it's going to happen. This is all because Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC, ran a commission on the tournament, and his findings were that to make it better, they need to expand to 90 teams and also get rid of automatic bids to help out low major and mid major schools.
No, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It's so clearly like he's not even. I mean, he's trying to hide it, but he's not doing a good job at all. He's just trying to get more SEC schools in. Because if with all the bid thieves last year, still like what was it, like 9 SEC schools made in, 8 or 9?
Let me look.
It was a lot, and with how many lost in the first round,
Yale
clearly not that many.
Yale beat Auburn.
Deserve to be in. This is all just an excuse to get more SEC teams in. I mean, let's call it how it is.
Yeah. It sucks because there is a tradition to, in my opinion, there's tradition to March Madness where it's like a 64-team field. Okay, we added the first 4. I forget when that got added.
They added the first 4 I think was in 2011 because they had already expanded to 65 to do one play-in game, which is stupid. 65 is worse than 68. I'll be perfectly honest. 64 is better than everything. I mean, but
it's something fun to do to where it's like, okay, all right, these 16 seeds who are coming from the NES or NEC or wherever, and it's like, okay, these teams suck. Let them beat each other and then get pummeled by the 1 seed. And then, I mean, by expanding the tournament, there's already games in place where they're blowouts. Like, I'm looking at the 2 versus 15s in Tennessee and St. Peter's and Arizona Long Beach State. And then all the 1 seeds won by 18 plus. I mean,
Yeah.
do we really need to expand this to where
No.
we have more blowouts? Just so that way that one team that got snubbed can hopefully make a run.
Yeah, so that the SEC can get 12 teams in
I think there's something special.
and have 7 of them lose in the first round.
When you dilute the quality of a tournament, I feel like less people are going to want to watch it.
That is exactly what happens.
And so when you have, like, I don't know, when I watch a 5-12, I know it's going to be a close game for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
When I know I watch a 4-13, that's when it starts to get to the point to where, like, okay, this one might be a game, it might be a blowout.
4-13 is kind of become
Kinda
the
like
new,
where the
it's
line
become
is.
the new
Like,
5-12 in a way.
This year, it kind of did because,
Well, no, in recent years, there's many tournaments in a row. There's been a 13 upset over a 4.
yeah, where it's like that's the one. And then, like, your threes, it's like, okay, we're getting the top 12 teams are going to blow out the bottom 12 teams.
And when that doesn't happen,
It's
fun. But the problem is when you add, let's say they go to 76, you add 8 more teams, the bottom gets even more bottom of the
Diluted,
barrel.
right.
Diluted is a better word.
yeah,
It's just going to be more likely that there's a blowout.
yeah.
It's a terrible. More does not always mean better. If you drink enough water, eventually you'll drown. You know, like just because it's more doesn't mean it's good.
No, it's an unfortunate thing. I hope it doesn't happen, just because I think it's perfect the way it is. No, that could be.
No, you're not wrong.
I mean-
think technically, I think it's perfect at 64. I'm fine with 68, but don't change it.
I mean,
It
like,
is the single best postseason in any sport.
so. Last year was 10 seats were the play-in just because of how the seating work in the bid Steelers rather than
Yeah.
11s. Do you think they should just do 10 and 11s and call it a day as play-ins? Like all 10s and 11s are play-ins.
That's what. So with the expansion to 76 teams, the suggestion would be every team like.
Double-digit seed or something?
No, I think it's every 10 through 12 are playing.
Oh. It's interesting.
Yeah, and so
But there is a record here where I believe at least one play-in team has made it out of the first round every year.
not every year, but the last
I think
several years.
Colorado did it this year.
Pitt did it year before.
Syracuse made a really good run one year.
So did UCLA.
Right.
Both Syracuse and UCLA have made it to the Final Four out of the first 4.
Yeah. So there is some good parity to be said about the first 4, but gosh. What's next? Are we going to have a, what was it, 128 field? Just 132?
Yeah, and if they go to 90 teams, which is what Greg Sankey wants, that's literally 25% of the
You know
sport.
what? Forget all that. You don't have to qualify for the tournament. Everyone gets in the tournament.
Yeah, let's do a 362 field.
Why not? Hey, why? Because if you play basketball, you deserve a chance.
Mm-hmm. You
God,
play the game to win.
man.
This is dumb.
Yeah.
Something else that's dumb in a different way. Florida has a 7'9" center.
Yeah, Olivier Giroux, I think is how you say it.
Olivier Roux.
Roux.
If you want to get
Olivier Giroux is the all-time leading French scorer in international soccer. Sorry, I got my Oliviers mixed up.
Yes. Anyway. Yeah, no, he's just extremely tall. He grew 2 inches after he had committed to them, which is crazy. Like, he committed to them at 7'7", and then he showed up in Gainesville, and they're like, "You're 7'9", buddy."
Yeah. But only you would know that because you're the only one tall enough to see that.
Yeah. And so it's just, he's the tallest player already in college basketball history, assuming he plays a game.
Is he the next coming of Zach Edey?
I don't know, but the thing is, most guys his size are really like rail thin.
Yeah.
Rue is
You got a little bit of size to him.
he's 290.
Oh, there you go, Rue.
And he's 290 at 7'9".
That's decent size.
Yeah. So if you
He's closer to 8 feet than he is to 7 feet. Isn't that absurd?
yes, it is. That's absolutely insane. And I mean, think about it like this: Great Osibor, who a lot of people consider one of the best centers in college basketball this upcoming season. He's 6'8". If Washington and Florida were to play each other, he has over a foot on their center.
Yeah. Who's getting $2 million a year?
Yep.
That is a ridiculous amount of height.
For college basketball's sake, I hope he sucks because you can't take a dude that without extending his full arm can dunk the ball, can windmill dunk like that.
Oh, watch out! Here it comes.
Whoa! Pulling out his dunk package there.
My goodness, where did you get that from? 2K?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's kind of crazy.
It's wild, but it's fun.
Let's
It
see.
is fun.
Have you even watched any of his games? I know he went to IMG. I just don't know if he's.
I have not watched him play.
I don't
just
know.
know that he's
He's
tall,
tall.
and he's actually like bulky. He's got size for a center.
Now, does he have feet with it?
Yeah, that's the thing. Because
You can run past him.
Edie was the people saying Edie was only good because he was 7'4" are morons. They are actually morons because there are people that tall who are not that good.
Yeah.
Edie is skilled. Edie has footwork. Edie's faster than people think he is. He doesn't run up and down the whole game. I think that there's probably a problem to his game. He probably needed better cardio. But Edie was a skilled big. Like Missouri has a 7'5" center right now. He's not good. He's just 7'5". This guy, he's not just going to be immediately good. He has to become skilled. He has to develop his game.
Right.
So we'll see.
We'll see exactly what happens with him.
Yeah. Moving on to football. Huh.
Huh.
Anyway, that's all right. Moving on to football. So let's do the quick one first. The real quick one. NCAA is having a vote this week. I think they're voting on a lot of things, but one of the things that they are voting on is eliminating coaching limits in college football.
Which, to be honest, there was already, you could have an unlimited number of coaches.
You could have an unlimited staff. You just had to call them analysts.
Yeah, you just had to call them analysts, basically.
There are extra things that coaches can do as compared to analysts.
Like recruiting aspects? Or
recruiting and also working like hands-on with players. Analysts can do that, just not in the same capacity.
But more or less, now the NCAA is like, all right, rather than working around the rule and being like, this is what we're going to call you and this is what you're restricted on, just go and have as many coaches as you want.
The more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, do it.
I mean, it just makes sense.
Yeah, because they already are coaches.
Right, they are. They're out there on the practice field. They may not be doing, just allow it.
I mean, this is what the NFL does. The NFL, you can have as many coaches as you want. There's less of like a gap as far as like pay goes.
We're gonna see it now to where like if it's not like you have 40 coaches, it's gonna make you better than having 20 coaches. At some point, the number of coaches is only going to be so much to where productivity can be peaked.
Yes, it becomes diminishing returns.
Right.
At a certain point.
So, I mean, like, I feel like
and also,
we're already there.
If you have 40 okay coaches versus 20 great coaches,
yeah,
the great coaches are going to succeed.
But, yeah, it's one of those where it's like, it just makes sense. Allow it. Like,
yeah, I that's what I think.
The NCAA is loosening that grip just a little bit more.
Yeah. Another bit of football news is that Oklahoma signed Brent Venables to a 6-year extension.
Mm-hmm.
this extension, it's not like 6 extra years. They're just his contract is now at 6 years.
Oh, I
They
got you.
added 2 years to the contract and gave him a massive, massive pay boost.
There you go.
This comes along with Oklahoma trying to increase their commitment into their football program, which is the craziest sentence I think I've heard
Why is
in
that?
the past couple of weeks.
What is crazy about increasing commitment?
They already spend so much money on football.
Yeah, they're increasing it.
Do you know how? Okay,
They're going from here to here, man.
the average athletic department, football drives the bus for the average athletic department. You know, it's the moneymaker. It supports all the other
Is the bus
programs.
driver.
Yeah. And so that's how it works. With Oklahoma, their athletic department is broken up into 2. There's the athletic department,
Right.
just all the sports, and then
Football.
there's football. Football has its own budget. It is an insular program. Whatever money football makes, football gets. It doesn't support other programs. Basketball and TV revenue supports all the other programs
Word.
at Oklahoma. So the fact that they are doubling down on financial commitment to their football program is insane.
Is it though?
I think it is, just because, I mean, I think they're going to do fine in the SEC. I don't know how they're going to do year one because I think there's a lot of question marks surrounding Oklahoma. But I mean, if they're putting that much money into it, I think they're going to be fine. They're putting that much money when they already were putting a ton of money into football.
I mean, it just pump more into it. More money equals better.
Sometimes, yeah.
I mean, that's the simple equation there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all we'll see. So, you know.
Yep. Yes, and then we got a couple more things, and then we're gonna get to college football coaches draft, like we did a college basketball coaches draft.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of drafts. It's draft season.
So there's some ADs that got fired. We don't normally talk about that, but there's not much to talk about. So Houston fired their athletic director after, I believe it was 7 years that he was in the position, and then St. John's fired their athletic director after 6 years.
Huh.
So both of these are interesting firings to me. Houston's is more interesting, but
Football team slipped.
yes, but the thing is, they let their athletic director hire Willie Fritz. And now all of a sudden, whoever their new athletic director, whoever comes in, Willie Fritz is not technically like their guy.
Yeah, they're higher.
And so
We've seen this in low Division I schools where they want to make changes.
this happens in like any kind of business where there's like someone who can appoint people.
And they want to bring in their
it's
people.
it's narcissism. They just want to bring in their own guys. That's weird. That's weird that they let him hire Willie Fritz and then fired him. Also,
Maybe they didn't like the hire, agree with it.
yeah, you're probably right.
That's probably what it was. Because, I mean, like, Kelvin Sampson's been there for 20 years, it feels like, right? For a good
He
bit.
has not been there for 20 years.
Kelvin Sampson, I thought, has been there for, like, a good while. Like
He's been there for a while, but
not 7 years where the hire was made, right?
Keldon Sampson outdates their previous athletic director,
Right.
but he's not been there for 20 years. Yeah, I mean, Keldon Sampson, that does interest me.
2014, so 10 years.
Yeah, that does interest me with basketball too, because I think Keldon Sampson's fine. He's one of the top coaches in the sport right now.
Could you imagine new AD comes in? Hey, Kelvin, we're making a change.
Well, yeah, that would be the dumbest thing. You would have to fire that athletic director immediately.
Man, we have 3 athletic directors in 2 years.
So Keldon Sampson is not noteworthy as far as basketball goes. Why this is interesting to me? There's a succession plan in place though with basketball. Whenever Kelvin Sampson retires, his son Keldon Sampson is just going to take over.
Oh, okay.
And so I don't think I think their previous athletic director was the one that agreed to that.
Oh.
Now that when they're bringing in a new guy, it's like, okay,
Is this going to be...
is he going to want to do that? If he does like follow through with it, I don't know if it's contractually obligated. I don't know if it's like written in pen and paper. But if he does follow through with it, he's probably going to have a shorter leash with Keldon Sampson. I don't know. It's just really interesting. And then the St. John's one is interesting to me because of basketball again. All of a sudden, the guy who hired Rick Pitino, he's gone.
Yeah.
Rick Pitino, who I think is a great coach. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. He has a shorter leash because there's going to be a new guy.
Yeah. Got to impress.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think Rick Pitino has a whole lot of like career prospects as far as like, I think St. John's is his last stop.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see. It's just interesting. Very interesting to me. All right. Last thing for the coaches draft. There was a fun little war going on because it's the off season and
it's dead.
Yeah. Officially today, no one's got anything going on.
Nope.
As of yesterday, everyone except for Texas A&M and Tennessee had nothing going on.
Welcome to summer break, folks.
Yeah. So, Tulane. Let me see if I can pull it up because Tulane, they decided to advertise their football season tickets. They said they had the coldest beer in college football. And so another school, the one I don't know which one it is, but another school was like, nuh-uh, or cheapest beer, sorry.
Nuh-uh.
Cheapest beer in college football. Another school was like, nuh-uh, we have the cheapest beer in college football. And they just got into it on social media. And then BYU decided, well, they can't sell alcohol because they're Mormon. So they said that they have the coldest chocolate milk in college football. By the way, the team who said that they have the cheapest beer is Louisiana, in-state rival. So it was Tulane, then Louisiana, then BYU said they have the coldest chocolate milk, and then in parentheses,
I've actually got the beer
sober.
rankings right here. So
we'll talk about that in a second. And then in a response to that, Mississippi State said they have the best cheese in college football. Louisiana Tech say they have the best live mascot and a remote-controlled car in college football. Iowa State said they have the best ice cream in college basketball.
You could go for some good ice cream right now.
I couldn't. Lactose intolerant.
Apparently that's a choice, is what I hear.
You hear?
I hear that's a choice.
It's stupid. No, it hurts.
Can't you, like, just take a pill?
No, I do have pills. I'm not gonna burn one on on ice cream.
But it's delicious.
No, I don't need it. We're moving on.
It's not about needs, man. It's about wants.
What's the cheapest? What's the cheapest beer in college football?
At $3, we have Tulane and TCU.
Okay.
And then at $5, we have Wake Forest, Louisville, Oregon, and Coastal Carolina.
Go Cards,
Coming
baby.
up at the very top, though, at $13 is Tennessee.
You know what? They
with UCLA right below it
cash.
At 12 and Colorado at 12. Could you imagine if before Dion got there and they weren't relevant, if they were charging $12 for beer?
I could imagine that they were before, honestly, yes.
Oh. Well, to give you guys an idea, the NCAA average is right at $8.34.
It's very interesting.
It is.
I did not know Louisville's beer was so cheap.
Yeah, I think it's partially because they do promos before to try to get people in before kickoff.
It's true. It is cheaper before.
They do. So I wonder if that is a factor in this or not. I'm not sure, honestly, on this graphic.
It could be. I don't know.
But as someone who attends the Louisville football games, I will be there early for kickoff to get my $2 beers before kickoff.
Yeah. Actually, all drinks are they half off an hour before kickoff?
All drinks, I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure they are because
I'm not one going for a soda pop before kickoff. I'll put it that way.
I'm just saying I get a bourbon and it's half off.
You changing the game.
Well, okay. Okay. Fun
Didn't think about
little
that.
fact for you. I went to a Louisville game. It was the one actually we met at. I think it was they played Pitt a couple of years ago. Satterfield was still the coach.
Yeah.
We actually met at the game.
We didn't like meet each other.
No,
were,
we
like,
met up at the game.
Yes.
So I went to the concessions. It was my turn. They're like, what do you want? And I was like, it's some drinks. So they're like, what do you want to drink? And I was like, can I get bourbon? They're like, do you want like an old fashioned or do you want like bourbon Coke? And I was like, no, just bourbon. They're like, just bourbon? They'd never heard this before. They're like, just bourbon? I was like, yeah. And they're like, do you want ice or anything? And I was like, no, I'm good.
You just want to neat?
And clearly they had never seen this before. And I don't think that they knew
that you could drink bourbon neat.
That, but also I don't think they knew that when you do drink bourbon neat, it does not take up a lot of the glass.
Yeah.
They poured me. So if the cup is this big, they poured me this much.
Oh, so they poured you like enough to get you.
Yes.
They poured you like a quarter of a bottle.
Yes. And because I think when they make mixed drinks with bourbon, it takes up a lot. Yeah, because of the ice and the mixers and everything.
That's funny.
And when I was like, I just want bourbon, they were like, really? And they poured it to me. And when they handed it to me, they said, please be careful. And I was like, I'm good. I'll be fine. I appreciate the concern, but I'll be fine.
I'll share this with 3 other people.
I mean, it was fun.
You were feeling pretty warm that night, weren't you?
It was a great night. We won that game.
Yeah.
That was a game I wasn't expecting to win. But the point is, you're in Louisville in the fall. Go to a game. Get some cheap, huge pours of bourbon.
Oh, apparently. I wonder how much trouble they got in.
I don't think they got in trouble.
They probably count the bottle.
Maybe, but I think the manager was there. I think she was the one who was like, I don't know how much we pour.
Yeah. You're like, that's funny.
All right.
All right.
Good. You know what? Good to know Louisville is in the
bottom end of
the cheapest beers, which is one of the instances that you want to be in the bottom half of something. So now we're getting to it. Our best coaches in college football draft.
Yeah.
You want to do rock, paper, scissors to see who?
I suppose so.
You suppose.
I mean, how else are we going to sort it?
I don't know. I just.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Are you ready?
2 out of 3 or 1?
2 out of 3.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I get the first pick. Once again, we're going to do snake draft.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to
I wonder who you're going to pick.
Oh, me too. We're going to do snake draft. And we are we're each picking 10 coaches. So that's how this works. I get the first pick. I'm going to go with, drum roll please, Kirby Smart.
Shocker there.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go with Steve Sarkisian.
Sarkisian, all right.
And Dan Lanning.
Dan Lanning, okay, that's a good one. They were both very high on my board.
I just wonder who I'm missing. To give you an idea, he told me about this last night. I made mine about 20 minutes before
I told
we
you
started
about it like a week ago.
True.
I asked if you wanted to do it last night.
So, no. My list is going to be good, okay? I guarantee I forgot some names, though.
Okay. All right. They were both of those names were my top 4. So,
Yep.
In my opinion, great gets. All right. So, with my next pick, I'm going to go with Kalen DeBoer.
Yep.
Great coach. I think maybe Alabama's not great right out of the gate, but they're not going to miss a beat with Kalen DeBoer. And my next coach, Kyle Whittingham.
Yep, he was right there. You literally picked my so I skipped DeBoer. I had him listed 3rd, and then Whittingham was 5th for me.
That's exactly what my list is. Is Lanning 4 for you?
Sarkisian.
Sark was 4?
Yeah, Sark was 4.
Lanning was 2?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Sark and Lanning flipped, but other than that, we have
Yep.
very identical top 5 so far.
All right. This one's tough. I'm definitely going to go with Lane Kiffin just because I like him.
He's also next on my list.
Then this is where I just don't know. Because it's like, I feel like it gets to the point where it's like, these guys could be good, but not be good. You know what? We just talked about him. Brent Venables. Why not?
Brent Venables, okay.
Why not? I don't know.
He is not on my list. He's not on my big board.
Dang.
Are you looking at my big board?
Yeah,
Don't look at my big board.
I'm not going to steal it. I'm going off my list. Don't you worry. I'm going down in order.
All right. So you got Lane Kiffin. I'm actually excited about who I get to pick now.
Go for it.
Because there's one guy who I'm about to pick who I think his stock has fallen, but I think he's still one of the top coaches in the sport. That'd be Lane Kiffin. Not Lane Kiffin. You just picked Lane Kiffin. I meant to say Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, I had him right below him. I had another coach right there, too.
Yeah. So Lincoln Riley, and then I'm also going to pick maybe a controversial one, Ryan Day.
I had him right there, too.
He's a great offensive coach. They've been fantastic even since Urban Meyer left. They haven't missed a beat. I think he's good. I know Ohio State fans kind of hate him right now.
Mm-hmm. I'm not looking. I'm not looking at your list. Calm down.
All right, I got Lincoln Riley and Ryan Day.
All right, I'm going with 2 ACC coaches next.
Okay.
I'm going with Mike Norwell.
Yep.
And I'm going with Jeff Brom.
God dang it, he's on my list. That's a good one, man.
So I've got
Okay. Brom's great.
Mm-hmm.
Brom is fantastic. Mike Norvell is also very good. Clearly, he's done it multiple schools. You know he can do it. I'm going to go with, these might not be the sexiest picks, but I'm going to pick them. Brian Kelly.
Yeah, I had him 3 down from where I was going next. Yep.
And then James Franklin.
He was my next pick.
I know he struggles to win big games.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, he went 9-3 at Vandy.
Sure did.
You can't forget that.
Nope.
He went 9-3 at Vandy.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Very good.
All right. What do we got? What do we got next?
Next, I'm going with, I think this one is a fun one. I'm going with Lance Leipold.
Great pick. He's down there on my list, but it's a great pick.
And then Marcus Freeman.
Okay, that I don't like that pick.
Yeah.
I think he's a great defensive coach.
Yeah,
I think he's just a fine head coach.
Right.
I think in a lot of their losses, I think you see him get outcoached a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That was my take on Marcus Freeman. That's why I didn't really consider him. But this is working out for me. Next up, I'm going to pick Matt Rule.
I know I forgot one. There it is.
Matt
Baylor
Rule.
coach.
Well, Nebraska right now.
Oh, yeah.
Baylor's coach is definitely not on here. Dave Aranda. He's
Oh,
nowhere
yeah,
near there.
no.
So,
Apologies.
taking Matt Rule.
Apologies, Matt. Forgot you're not at Baylor anymore. You did an NFL stint and then came back to college.
Sure did. And then, I love him. I'm taking Chris Kleiman.
I had him. I was going to pick him.
I think he does more with less than any coach in college football.
I actually was going to pick him next. All right. So, oh wait, nope. Those are.
I've picked 9.
Yeah. So I got my last.
So you're
2.
down to your last 2.
All right. Man, I really wanted to pick Rich Rodriguez for fun, but I can't do it based off the names here. I'm going to go
Rich Rod on your list.
because I like Rich Rod.
I know, but he's flamed out at so many spots.
I know he has. I like Rich Rod. I like his offense. I like the no huddle offense, but I'm not picking him. Guy who was really good at Arizona. We're at Washington now. We're going Jed Fish.
That's the first one on my list that I considered, but I didn't put him on my big board just because I haven't seen enough of it.
And now I'm torn because do I go with history and decent success but never over the hump, or a guy who could possibly do it? I'm going to take the mullet, or the old school mullet. I'm going to take Gundy.
That's my next pick.
I'm going to take Gundy.
That was my next pick. Okay.
Yep.
See, if you didn't pick Brom was right after Gundy for me. Which Brom actually might be a better coach than Gundy, honestly. But it's just the consistency with Mike Gundy at the level that he's done.
Right. It's quite something.
See, do I just stick with my big board for my last pick?
I have 4 here, or I have 3 left that haven't been named.
You know what? I'm gonna stick with my big board, and then I'm gonna tell you who is left.
Okay, I'll tell you who my 3 are left. Yeah.
Because I will also have 3 left. My final pick is going to be Kirk Ferentz.
Did not have him.
He's just so. I
Where
mean,
is
if you want
he
to talk
at?
Iowa, I mean, you want to talk
yeah.
consistency.
Yeah.
I know the offense is a major issue.
Yeah.
And honestly, yeah, Brian Ferentz is gone. I don't think the offense is going to be that much better, and I do think they're going to take a step back. He's such a consistent coach, though. I mean, he on top of being a consistent coach, he has coached teams that are like right there in the 4-team playoff, the 4-team playoff.
Right.
Like he can coach extremely good teams.
Yeah. And if they stay consistent as they are, they could make a playoff if they can be 10-2 in that Big Ten.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is going to be harder now that divisions are gone. But
who were your other names that you had there? I have 3 other than Rich Rod.
I have Dabo.
I did not have Dabo.
I
just can't do it.
As much of an issue, I think his attitude as far as transfer portal recruiting goes, like on the field, like X's and O's, I still think he's a really good coach.
Yeah. I just think with this current era, he's going to fall behind because he refuses to adapt.
I do too, but as far as just straight coaching goes, I'm not talking like recruiting is why I dropped him as far as I did.
Right.
But as far as just coaching goes, I do think he's great. Still.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's going to argue with that aspect of it.
Next, I had Luke Fickell.
Good old Luke Fickell. Forgot about Luke Fickell. I like Luke Fickell a lot. Mm-hmm. Cincinnati, very good coach. Now Wisconsin has stumbled a little bit, though.
Well, he's only been there 1 year.
Right.
And they're trying to implement a new system of offense. They're trying to implement a new offense that just has never been done at Wisconsin. They're trying to modernize the offense, go with the spread. Mm-hmm. And, it's a similar task to, like, taking Georgia Tech out of the triple option, it's just never been done. And then the last coach on my big board, I didn't think I'd get to him, but he was here. Curt Cignetti.
Who?
Curt Cignetti.
Where's he at?
He's currently at Indiana. Huh. He was James Madison's coach.
Oh, okay.
That guy, I'm telling you, he's going to be a star coach.
Really? I had a couple that were a little bit different, more well-known names. I had Mike Elko.
I considered him. I didn't put him on my list.
Mac Brown.
Mac Brown.
And then
I think he's
at the very, very bottom, which I didn't think I was going to get to him. Josh Heupel.
Heupel, yeah, Heupel's solid too. For me, so with all those, Elko, I don't think he's done it long enough. That's the same thing with Jed Fish for me.
Okay.
I'm super high on both of them. I think, especially Elko. I think Elko's a better coach than Jed Fish.
Yeah.
They just haven't done it long enough. Who else did you say? You said Heupel and someone else?
Mac Brown.
Yeah, Mac Brown. I think he's a good coach. I think he's
a good quarterback whisperer.
He's out of the, top of the top. He was that at Texas. He's not that anymore. He's not one of the elite coaches anymore.
So that was my list.
With Heupel, I don't know. The Central Florida kind of concerns me. They just got worse and worse and worse at Central Florida, and if they don't improve upon last year, or at least just have the same record, he's going to do the same thing at Tennessee. They'll just get worse and worse and worse. Gotcha. So it's a weird situation with Heupel. Obviously we've seen it. We've seen him be very good, but I just don't know.
I really like your list. You got a really good group.
Outside of Freeman, I like your list.
Oh, appreciate it.
We had a very similar
draft this
football
time.
Big board.
Yeah, as compared to basketball.
Our basketball was very different. Yeah. No, we had very similar ones. Again, Freeman's the only one that I
Like the only one I added that I didn't have was Rule. For you.
Yeah, I think you pulled the trigger on some guys that I'm like I want to see more from.
I mean, it was just like Fish and
Fish, and Venables.
yeah, Venables. Yeah.
Venables is high up for me too.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how these coaches play out.
Sure will. Absolutely.
It's definitely a less contentious draft.
Yeah, considering we agreed a good bit on it.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to say to the peoples?
No.
The lone people still watching?
Not at all.
All right.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you have a good day. Enjoy the NBA draft if that's what you watch. And we'll see you in the next episode.